What would you do if you were standing at your own father's funeral, and your older brother smirked in your face and told you that you were getting nothing from the inheritance? That single moment broke me in ways I still can't fully describe. My dad had just passed after a long battle with cancer. I was devastated, but my brother Mark had other plans. While Dad was on heavy painkillers in his final weeks, Mark secretly convinced him to change the will and sign over everything. The family house we grew up in, the savings, the investments, even Mom's old jewelry. At the funeral, he pulled me aside and said with a cold smile, "Dad knew I'd handle it better, little bro. You get nothing." I wanted to punch him right there, but instead I hugged him, told him I understood, and played the role of the grieving, supportive younger brother. Inside, something dark awakened. I made a silent vow that day. I would take back everything he stole, no matter how long it took. For the next 4 years, I acted completely normal. I smiled at family gatherings, helped him with small things, and never once showed my anger. Meanwhile, I was quietly gathering evidence, medical records showing Dad's condition, witness statements, and proof that Mark had pressured him while he wasn't mentally fit. The pain of losing Dad and then being robbed by my own blood brother was unbearable. I worked extra jobs, saved every penny, and studied real estate and inheritance law at night. The loneliness during holidays, the rage I swallowed every time. Mark bragged about his house. It all built up like a storm. If your own sibling ever betrayed you during the worst time of your life, drop a hi in the comments right now. This true story of family betrayal and cold revenge is going to hit you hard, and the ending is extremely satisfying.
Those 4 years of pretending to be the good brother while carrying deep betrayal were the hardest years of my life. Mark moved into the family house, started acting like the new king of the family, and even used Dad's money to start his own business. He would invite me over for dinners and talk about how well he was doing, completely unaware that I was documenting everything. I hired a good lawyer, quietly, and built an extremely strong case of undue influence and possible forgery. I also saved aggressively and worked with a real estate investor friend. Mark decided to refinance the house for a big loan to expand his business. That was the moment I had been waiting for. I submitted all my evidence to the bank through my lawyer right before the loan was supposed to close. The bank reviewed everything and immediately rejected the refinance. Mark was shocked when they told him the loan was denied due to suspicious circumstances around the will. He started panicking as payments became difficult. Within months, he defaulted on the mortgage. I stayed silent and watched from the background. The house that our father built with his own hands, the house filled with memories of our mom and childhood, was now headed for foreclosure. I created an LLC through my investor friend and prepared to bid at the auction. The emotional weight of everything I had carried for 4 years was about to be lifted. Every time Mark had humiliated me, every time he stole what was rightfully ours, every arrogant comment, it was all leading to this. If this story of brotherly betrayal is making you angry, comment "brother" below and share it with someone who has been stabbed in the back by family. The day of the auction is where everything flipped. The auction day finally came, and I sat in the back row wearing a cap, watching as the family house went up for bid. Mark wasn't even there. He was too ashamed and fighting with the bank. My LLC won the bid at a price I could afford after years of saving. The house was now legally mine. I waited 2 more weeks until Mark went on a vacation with his girlfriend. That's when I changed the locks, moved some of my stuff in, and waited. When he returned and tried to open the front door with his key, it didn't work. He called me in total confusion and anger.
I calmly told him the house now belonged
to me, and he had 30 days to remove his belongings. The shock and rage in his voice was pure justice after 4 years of pain. He screamed, threatened to sue, and called the family, but the paperwork was ironclad. The same brother who laughed at me at Dad's funeral was now standing outside the house he thought he owned, begging and cursing. I didn't yell back. I simply reminded him what he did to Dad and to me. The satisfaction of watching him break down was overwhelming. He had to move out and rent a small apartment, while I settled into the house that should have always been part of our real family legacy. This wasn't rushed revenge. It was slow, patient, and perfectly executed. The memories of Dad and Mom felt right. Again, now that the house was back where it belonged. Mark tried fighting in court, but my evidence of undue influence was too strong. The judge sided with the facts and the case was closed. He lost the house, most of his savings from the failed business, and a lot of respect in the family once the truth slowly came out. Some relatives started reaching out to me apologizing for believing his version of events. I didn't gloat publicly, but the quiet knowledge that I had taken back what he stole felt incredibly healing. I renovated parts of the house, put up photos of Mom and Dad, and finally felt some peace in the home I grew up in. Mark now lives in a small rental and works a regular job after his business dreams collapsed along with the house. The same man who called me worthless now avoids family events where I'm present. The childhood memories, the pain of losing Dad twice, once to cancer and once to betrayal, finally started to fade. This revenge took 4 long years of emotional control, patience, and smart planning, but it was worth every single sacrifice. I learned that sometimes the best way to win against family betrayal is to stay quiet, prepare thoroughly, and strike when they least expect it. Today, I'm living in the family house that my brother tried to steal from me, while he pays rent somewhere else and struggles to rebuild his life. The pain of that funeral day still lingers sometimes, but knowing justice was served brings me real peace. This whole experience taught me that blood doesn't always mean loyalty. To every person watching who has been betrayed by a sibling or close family member, especially during grief, stay patient and smart. Document everything. Build your case quietly and wait for your moment. The best revenge is often silent but complete. If this true story touched your pain, made you emotional, or gave you hope, mash that like button hard right now. Share it with anyone who has been screwed over by family. Comment your own brother betrayal or inheritance stories below. I read every single comment. Subscribe for more raw, emotional, real-life family revenge stories. This was my real story. It hurt like hell, but I took back what was mine. What's your story? Thanks for watching till the end and stay strong out there.